panelists. So proud of this occasion, and so proud that you all made the journey out here on a very cold February day. Give yourselves a round of applause. So now just some housekeeping. I have questions for this panel, which they're going to share with me. But does anybody have a folder that says Chris Haley on it, just by the by? No? Okay, fine. Well, then I'll read it from here. The lovely and talented Tina Wyatt has loaned me her phone, so she's going to let me see what my questions are. Okay, great. There they are. So every now and then I'll probably be going like this because you know how it is in modern day. And you all have had your opportunities to have the blue card so that you can write down questions if you have any. And there's also little pencils that can give you, as I said, carpal tunnel syndrome to really work on those. Great, excellent. All right. This is a panel of persons which I think is very important and also very illuminating, because many times persons who are considered experts and take it upon themselves as a passion for these persons who they consider, quite frankly, heroes in their own minds and heroes in their own hearts, to take on their stories and write about them. But then there's also the other persons who actually have this, quite frankly, thrust upon them. They are born and then they find out one day later on, oh my gosh, this great-great-great-grand person of mine is famous, is like iconic. How do I live with that? So that's how I sort of thought about this panel being something to close the day, because here we have statues downstairs, and it's not every day that you have a descendant or somebody that you've written a book about who has a statue in a state capitol state house. So that's what I wanted to address today. And of course, right now, it just went black again. I am going to be like this, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, right here, I guess. Now just remember, as I do this, I'm not as young as I used to be, so being on one knee, it's going to be hard getting back up. Just so you know. All right. So, for those who don't already know, we have with us Ken Morris, who is the great-great-great-grandson of Frederick Douglass and Anna Murray Douglass, and he is also the president and co-founder of the Frederick Douglass Family Initiatives. We also have Tina Wyatt, who is the great-great-great-grandniece of Harriet Tubman, who is also an artist, a nurse, and an educator. Tina Wyatt.
Washington, D.C.
Did you hear what she said?
No.
Co-founder
Harriet Tubman Day, Washington, D.C., where we celebrate her and educate people at the same time through the arts. March 12th, 7 to 9, and it's at the National Archives is partnering with me this year. So registration is already up. So if you're interested, go on their site and register. It's free, but you know they have limited seats, so you have to reserve your seat.
I'm sorry, was your question on a blue card? Just kidding.
Yours is not on a blue card.
Signs nowhere. No, this is fine. Believe me, I've done worse. Anyway, and we also have Kate Larson, who is an author of many books, among which is Bound for the Promised Land, Harriet Tubman, Story of an American, Portrait of an American Hero. Professor Celeste Marie Bernier, who has written, among many books, the first one I'm not going to remember right now, but the most specific, but If I Survive is the most recent one, which includes the collection of who? Walter Evans. Right, and the first one that you did, along with Zoe Trott and John Stauffer, was called what?
Picturing Frederick Douglass.
Exactly. Celeste Marie Bernier. All right. The first question for our panelists is this. I'm going to keep my finger right here. She's an educator for me too. As descendants and scholars of these two iconic African-American heroes, can you share with us, please, your general reactions and feelings when you learned that a new public representation of them is being created, whether it be film, television, or literary? I say this because I sometimes get the impression that the viewer often assumes that we've been consulted and have given our complete approval every time one is produced. However you guys want to start with that.
Okay, I'll start.